I think it's on. Is it live? It's live. So hi, good evening. Welcome to the IBD Ostomy Support Show. I'm Louise, aka Crohn's Fighting, and tonight we are live with it's Christmas. We've got 4 sleeps, and obviously what we're getting up to over the festive period, and just a few tips on surviving it. Would love to know what all you guys are getting up to over the festive period. So what have I been up to? Let me think. Living on my nerves.
Living what? What was that?
Living on my nerves. I've got some personal issues going on at the moment. Sort of getting to grips that I haven't got Maisie from 10 o'clock Christmas Day for a week. I'm doing a sober Christmas. I'm the designated driver this year. I'm not agreeing too well with alcohol at the moment, so I'll just give that a miss. Been working, been getting ready for Christmas, been buying more Christmas presents. I think I've wrapped my own Christmas presents at my mum's today. Maisie's on half term, so yeah, Maisie's broken up from school, so I had to take her to go and get her new glasses today. She's in adult glasses, people. Adult glasses. Adult frames. But they had a pair of Hugo Boss ones in the sale, and because they was in the sale, they qualified as an NHS pair, so she's walking about with a pair of designer glasses. And I didn't have to pay for them, because children under the age of 16, you don't have to pay for their frames, which is fantastic. Oh yeah, if anyone notices, that is clean washing, by the way. That has been ironed. I just haven't put it away because it's not mine. I'll just try to think of what else. I don't know. I think I'm planning on going to see Mary Poppins at the weekend, possibly.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, I finally got an appointment booked in with my GI after chasing my consultant, because I've been having issues. So anybody watching this with Crohn's, if anybody experiences late night itching, or just itching in general in places where you wouldn't generally get itches, if you chuck me an inbox so I can ask you a couple of questions, I'd be ever so grateful, because it is driving me insane. I'm not sleeping, I'm going to sleep, and then I'm awake like for a couple of hours.
Louise, where's the itching? Is it your legs?
It's the tops of my legs, the inside of my groin.
Yeah, so do you know what that might be? It might be magnesium deficiency. So I get it terribly, and when I go to hospital and it's all depleted, the magnesium spray works really well. Like, I get a nighttime magnesium spray. It could be magnesium deficiency.
Yeah, it is literally it's the tops of my legs, the inside and the other area, and it is driving me insane. It really is driving me mental. It's just, let's just put it this way, it's a good job I have my nails done and they're acrylic, because I'd have drawn blood by now, the amount that I'm scratching.
Mine is the soles of my feet. Once they start, God.
Oh, it's not good, is it? Not good at all. Yeah, Elaine's worked out how to use the chat. Woohoo! So what else? Oh yeah, I'm doing all the Christmas Eve drop-offs. So Christmas Eve, I'm here, there, and everywhere. So I'm going to be fighting traffic like you wouldn't believe. And Christmas Eve at my mum's, and then Christmas Day morning with Maisie, and then we're at Ben's parents, then my parents, and then Boxing Day we're at his family's. And then from the 27th until the 30th, no one's going to hear from me because I'm off radar. I'm going to Bath for a couple of days, and I've managed to get a great deal. So like £110 a night in a very nice hotel. And that includes breakfast and dinner, so we only have to worry about lunch.
Nice.
We're booking Bruges for the end of January for Panda's birthday as well.
I wish I could go away.
What do you mean you wish you could go away?
Yeah, but the 4 times been abroad this year have all been work. It hasn't been fun and relaxing. Like, I want to go away.
Better sleep hanging balls tonight. So anyway, yeah, that's me over and out for that one. I think I've rambled on for like 6 minutes, so I'm going to give everybody some peace and hand you over to
Anyway, that's the end of the IBD and Ostomy Show. Bye.
Bye.
So it's Rachel's turn.
Hi, I'm Rachel, aka Rocking Two Stones, or as I was earlier, Ostomy Awareness. But I've changed it now. I was on the wrong account. What have I been up to this week? I'm currently in Wales. I'm back home for Christmas. I came back today. I'm here until I've got quite a manic, really, like couple of weeks. So my brother's getting married in Scottish Castles. If anybody is in Scotland, it's in Dundas Castle. So that's on New Year's Eve, but it's like a 2-day wedding, so up to the 30th. And yeah, and me being me, has got booked the wrong flights and the wrong time, so I've had to get another flight. And yeah, but hopefully it'll all go fine. So that's like for Christmas Eve, which I'm really looking forward to it because as I don't know if I've probably mentioned, but I don't really, for me, don't really believe that I will ever get married. I've been engaged 3 times and I just don't think it ever happened for me. But I'm happy for my brother and he's really happy. And, I hope he has kids so I get to be an auntie and all that. So
I was having that conversation the other day.
Are you? What about getting married?
I won't go into any more into that one.
I think it's like, and people say to me, "Oh, you will." No, I really won't. But it's okay. But yeah, and that's just for me. Doesn't mean I don't. I'm really happy for people are, and my brother's gonna, it's gonna be really nice. So I'm looking forward to that. And then this week I've done. I think I'm actually not that well at the moment. My kidney's really playing up, so the pain, and I'm getting bits of blood and the urostomy, which they said is going to be part of the kind of kidney problem I've got going on, which is fine, and I just cope with it. But I think it's I've been trying to rest a bit. But I did an induction. Yeah, this was interesting. I did as I'm the first patient voice for Bournemouth Hospital, and as I've mentioned before, like I'm patient partner to the director there. We meet weekly. But I haven't done my mandatory training for 4 months because it's just I've been when the times have come up, I've been doing other stuff. Anyway, I did the training, and the infection control nurse at the end, she missed C. difficile off her presentation, and I got C. difficile in 2015. So I asked why it was missed, and she went, "Oh, I remember you." And then at the end, she knew me from Twitter, but she spoke to me afterwards, and she said that in 2015, the first like role she took, it was me. I caught C. diff off the ward. I had my bladder removed and a urostomy formed, back to leave hospital, caught C. diff. I was in for 3 months, really poorly, nearly died, TPN, sepsis. In isolation room for 3 months. It was really difficult, really awful. But it was through a member of staff because they didn't do procedures right. And she said, "Oh, you nearly died. I can't believe how well you look." And maybe I could do some talks with them. So it's mad sometimes when you think of where I was, like the girl I was back then, I'm so different to now. And when people see me, they are quite shocked. And I think, do you know what? I've done all right. Like times I look back, times I think that I could do better, I could work harder. There's so much other stuff I want to do. Actually, I've come really far. Like the girl I was 3 years ago when I was taking too much medication and I was just such victim before my urostomy. And now actually to where I am, do you know what? I'm doing all right. And it's kind of a really like, yeah, you're doing all right, you're doing okay. And I've got this articles going out in the British Medical Journal about the partnership with the director. So, and I procrastinated around it, wrote it, sent it to him, and he called me and he went, yeah, I was quite emotional. And it's like, do you know what? Yeah, I'm doing okay. And I think that's kind of good because I'm my worst critic sometimes. And I think because I feel I'm so busy at the moment, not really being able to support one-to-one. I've been personally manic but actually yeah, I'm doing okay. So that was like I feel quite humbled really and quite I feel quite happy really. I think thank you. Sorry, I'm just
that partnership's it's a massive leap forward, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it is for our hospital, and I'm urging all of you who are on there, there's all the ministers, but all of you that are on there, like how mine started was because I complained about bad care that was done to another patient on radiology. They were making fun of his patient that smelled, and the radiologist started talking about the worst, smelliest patient, and me sitting there with 2 bags, obviously packed into my stuff, but I was more upset about the patient behind me. Anyway, because of that, I spoke to the radiology staff in a staff meeting. It then got on further, and then it kind of happened that this transpired. And I think if anybody has the opportunity, not just to complain, but who wants to get involved with this more, is to approach your trust or approach the volunteers and say, is there a chance to be a patient-director partnership? Because honestly, it's opened so many doors for me in a world that I used to work in the NHS, and now I'm back in it, but a completely different capacity. But like I'm keynote speaker next year for the patient leadership program, and I never thought I would actually be asked to kind of do this big kind of summit, and I get to talk about young patient leader. And I'm thinking, oh, they think I'm young. And the lady that did it last year, she was like 18. So I was like, oh, okay. Honestly, I think if there's any of a chance, just go for it. It's such a brilliant opportunity. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
Pass you to Steve.
Hi, I'm Steve, aka #Baghdaddy Steve. Firstly, I want to give a shout out to Jill and Steve. Hi, Jill and Steve. Graham, Chris Livy, and Elaine, who's quite a big fan at the minute. What have I done this week? Not a massive lot, to be honest. I've been to the gym. I've had my kids over to stay for tea. I'm still kind of recovering. I've still got my wound is still open on my stomach.
Is it still granulated?
It is, yeah. But you know, I've had a right to do today. I ordered some dressings on the Monday, and I've gone round yesterday. No, I phoned them up yesterday before they closed half day, and they've said we've sent your prescription next door to Lloyd's the chemist. So I've gone to Lloyd's the chemist. There's no prescription been sent. Couldn't get hold of the doctors because they were closed. Gone today. They said yes, we definitely sent it there. Popped over to Lloyd's today. They said no, we haven't. So I've gone back. They've printed off, and the one that they've sent, they've only sent it to Charter. So it's gone, I don't know, miles away. So they've had to reprint another one off. I'm telling them, look, I've got a wound here that's open to infection. I'm having to buy dressings from the chemist, which aren't the dressings that I need. So anyway, they gave me 2 dressings. So I've got today and tomorrow. And I'll obviously wait until the other ones come in now. But a bit of a nightmare. What else have I been doing? I've not really done a great deal, to be honest. I've been to the gym, which has been really good for my sort of mental state of mind as well as physical. It's nice to get all sweaty and that. And that's, I've seen my dad a few times, which, you know, we've got a fantastic relationship, which we didn't have before. So that's good. I think I'm having my kids, I think they're coming over Christmas Eve and Boxing Day, which will be nice.
Nice.
And it's the first time I'll be eating out for Christmas at a sort of Latin American restaurant with a
nice.
shank of lamb with slow cooked vegetables. So it'd be quite nice, and have a few drinks, I think. And nothing else really planned as such for the Christmas period. So that's where I am at the minute. And that's me, the end. Over to you, Louise.
For Graham, which I'm just about to correspond with him on the chat via Messenger and via live. No, I'm not drinking alcohol this evening. Yes, I did buy a big bottle of Valley, but I accidentally left it in the boot of the car, so I will go down and forage the boot of the car for that tomorrow evening. But I've got work to do and a child to manage, so no alcohol this evening. Getting through Christmas. So I've got my stoma kit packed and ready to go for next week because I am here, there and everywhere. Can never guarantee when I'm going to be home. My output has been ridiculously high this week. Time of the month and all that jazz. I don't know any women watching this, if you suffer with increased watery output along with an itching of around the stoma at that time of the month, it's driving me absolutely batty. I think I drank something like 3.5 litres yesterday, I think it was, and it all just flushed straight through me. I think I finally stopped emptying my bag at about 1 o'clock this morning.
Mine's been exactly the same, only it's not my time of the month till next month. It's been ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. I'm getting up like 2 or 3 times in the night. It's just I can't figure it out, to be honest. I'm not that deep.
Mr. Cartmel needs to stop eating so late because that's a habit that Mr. Cartmel does.
I'm not eating late at all. I'm having regular meals. No, not at all. But I don't know what's happening. But I'm not that keen on my new stoma, to be honest. He's a bit of a shithead. It's not as prominent as Homer was. So he doesn't stick out as much.
You keep changing the names. It was Notorious, then it was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
The original one was the original one was Homer, and then I changed his name to Stoma Steve, and then obviously Notorious is this one now, and he's a bit of a bugger at times, to be honest.
You got to stay true to the Stoma name, dude.
Oh no, I've had two now.
Stay true to the name. Stay true to the name.
Actually, I'll change my names as well.
Stick to this one now. He's Notorious now, BAG. But he's a bit of a pain in the arse, to be fair.
Well, I'll be perfectly honest. You know the Trio Pearls. Normally they're great, but when you've got a high output, you're emptying
blatant your advertising there, Louise.
It can't be no advertising, those. But when you're using those, but you're emptying your bag like every 45 minutes, they don't work for shit.
I never bother with. Sorry.
Carry on, Steve.
No. I was just going. I never really bothered with them. I got a drawer full of pearls and that, and I just quite like. Sometimes it's nice having a bit liquidy rather than. It's easier to get out, if you know what I mean.
You have to lower the tone, dude. Right. So at the moment, I don't talk about Mr. Prolapse that much. I know I do to you guys.
No, he doesn't get a mention really, does he, anymore?
Mr. Prolapse is getting a big mention. Oh my God, it's really bad at the moment, and I think it's because the last few days. So I've lost a lot of weight, and I haven't been eating very well, and I've been eating a little bit better like the last couple of weeks, but last week, and I think I've been overeating really. I can't get it in. Like literally, I spent probably about 3 hours getting a bag on because I got to use ice to get it. Couldn't get it in. The pain, and so like what I really have to do this Christmas is not overeat because I've got the wedding. But also because it's really played up, and I've noticed I've got redness around my scar, so I just need to be like a little bit careful. But I don't know if you saw today, but I did a video for Coloplast, a Christmas video, which is just now because I don't know if I've been, but Christmas isn't really my best time of year, so it was like when I sent this video to Steve to double check it was okay, he sent a voice clip back laughing his head off, didn't you?
It's just the start that made me laugh. But
I'm trying to think if I could mention what Ben said last night. I'm not too sure. So apologies for anybody watching this, but there is going to be a swear word, and this is going to be quite crass. So we're flicking through the Sky channels last night, 300 channels, nothing to bloody well watch. So the cooking channels, we're flicking through the cooking channels, and Ben's like, Nigella's on.
Cool.
Okay.
Oh, my dad likes her.
There isn't a man on this earth that doesn't like Nigella.
Yeah. So Ben's turned around and said to me, he said, so did you want to see Nigella shaft a turkey? But he didn't say shaft. He said the word that begins with F and ends in G. So I didn't know what to do with myself last night. I was like,
fudge a turkey.
Thing is, you could watch my Nigella cooking for an hour, 2 hours, and have no idea what she's cooked.
Yeah, well, let's just put it this way. So fudge a turkey. So what adults do when they're being crude, and you know that one.
Oh yeah,
a very good swear word. So let's watch Nigella do that to a turkey. Yeah, all right. And I was just sat there and I was like, I can't believe those words actually come out of Ben's mouth. I was actually quite shocked. He's been living with me too long, man. I'll start with reef up and nearly put the hammer through my front door tonight. Oops.
You took your time to put the reef up, didn't you?
I only got it yesterday. I paid for it in November.
Yeah, blimey.
Oh, it's got lights on it. It looks so pretty. And then I had my niece yesterday, so I was trying to work and do edits and stuff. And I was more worried that she was going to end up, bear in mind Jodie's really dinky, that she was going to end up climbing my 8-foot Christmas tree.
Can I just say something? Because we're getting a few questions going, what are the pearls? So the pearls, these ones in particular are by Trio, aren't they, Louise? And they're put in your bag to fit in the outfit. So it's when output's really loose, like really watery, you pop them in the bag and they thicken so that you're not emptying as often. But as Louise said, if you've got really high output and you empty in your bag like less than an hour, then they won't take the time to thicken. But if you put it in water, I've done it before, it thickens. So it's quite cool. To be honest, I have very high output, but I don't use them because they don't really work for me because mine is so constant. I find that I pop them in all the time and I don't really use them.
I think, to be perfectly honest, day to day, they are a bit of a gimmick. Nighttime, so if you don't want to empty as much of a nighttime, then they are quite good. But you also have to be careful because the wind also blows your bag up as well. So the output might not be as much, but you still get the wind. So they're great if you want a night's sleep and your output is relatively normal, but it's just gone a bit watery. But yeah, if you've got high output and you're emptying your bag like every hour, they don't touch the sides.
I actually find the bag easier to empty when it's watery and looser than it is thicker. I've always found that. Better. And what I do at night time is I don't eat after 6.
But that's going to be because of your prolapse, isn't it, Rach? Obviously,
what?
If you know the smaller the stoma, yeah, the easier it is to get the output out, because you're literally doing that, aren't you?
Oh, I didn't fit. Is that why?
Of course,
then?
if you're because of your prolapse is kind of half filling the bag, the more liquid's just going to use gravity to come out, isn't it?
Yeah, because I find that the thick is a nightmare to get out.
It
hurts my prolapse because I have to like really squeeze it out, and I'm pressing it and that. But watery is much better.
Eh?
Oh, see, you're not just a pretty face, Mr. Cartmail.
Just to put it into perspective, the absorbent sachets like that, if your output is extremely watery, you need to put at least 2 of those in your bag to thicken the output. And then the problem
you don't empty them, you put them straight in, because a lot of people think you empty them in. You just put the whole sachet in.
They're like paper, like you know the things where when you buy shoes, you have that. You're like, what the hell's this? They look like that.
Like silica gel.
Yeah, like the little packet.
Like a tea bag.
But no, they're all right if your output is relatively normal. If you don't have normal output, I'll be perfectly honest with you, they don't really work. And the thing is as well is they're quite it's quite difficult to clear it out of the bag as well. And it all gets stuck coming down the shaft of the output of the bottom of the bag.
Sorry for laughing. Shaft.
No, shaft. And nobody likes to
nobody likes cleaning out the shaft.
Nobody likes messy fingers.
Oh dear me. It's one of them shows.
It's gone down it. I knew it was going to go down this route.
Well, it's going to go down what route?
Oh, it's all right. Went over Louise's head.
That's all right. Yeah, I'm getting messages at the moment. Yeah, he's laughing. Yeah, no. So what else? So how do you guys feel about the whole eating thing with like food and everything next week? Because I've been eating clean since the beginning of the month. I've gone back to eating the Itsu cookbooks and the Joe Wick stuff, just so my stomach can get on with it. But I'm not looking forward to next week.
Myself personally, I eat what I want when I want. I don't let my stoma ever dictate to me what I should and shouldn't eat. Obviously, I learn lessons, quite valuable lessons, if I overeat on a certain food. But I find I can eat anything that I want, really. It's just that I always forget when I've had fish. Always forget when I've had it until the following day, and I'm like, oh my God, it's horrible.
Sorry, Steve, I butted in. You go.
No, I'm good.
So my mum has like literally probably got the whole kitchen on lockdown. So because we got the wedding, and my brother and his wife to be Natalie are here for Christmas, so we are quite clean eating. And I've noticed because I think I've overindulged the last few days, or I've eaten maybe richer foods than I normally have, like lamb and kind of rich foods. My tummy's really not great at the moment, so I'm just going back to kind of simple foods at the moment, just to make things a bit easier, because the prolapse is so big. I would just want to make things a little bit. I've got a lot of traveling to do, and I just want to make things a little bit easier. So I'm gonna try that. But I'm the same. Like normally, I would have the nuts. I would eat, but I'm trying to be a little bit because we have the wedding, and I don't want to end up with a blockage or a prolapse problem before we go for the wedding, because I can't miss. I've missed a lot of engagements. My brother lives in Singapore. I don't see him very much. My illness has made me miss events and like the hen do and things like that. And I really don't want to miss the wedding. So I personally will be very careful, because I don't want to end up in, if I can help it.
Just a quick one, guys. Have you guys had the stomach bug circulating around you guys recently? Because I've not heard anything, but somebody's just said to me that they're dreading getting the stomach bug over like next week. And how long do you leave it before hospital intervention?
There's been I haven't heard nothing from my side. Not
I think
yet.
not having kids or not living with kids, you're a little bit safer. I think because it seems like the kids actually circulate it. From what I've noticed, the kids are the ones that circulate it.
Bring it from school.
Yeah, I think although you can get it outside, my advice would be that if you feel that you've got a bug, is to drink plenty of fluid. Make sure you get the kind of electrolytes and monitor it. And if you start vomiting and you are concerned, then get checked out. You know, I would personally try and manage it myself for a little bit until I got like a fever, until it was too much where I thought, actually, I'm really dehydrated now, and I'll go in. And I think just be aware of what is your, you know, I suppose what's wrong for you.
Yeah, I think with the stomach bug, I know for a fact if I get one and if the symptoms don't start passing after 2 days, I have to go to hospital just purely because of the high output and all the other issues I have. I've got to go. But I think for most, I don't know. It's difficult. It's a knowing your own body. You can't, you know. It's okay asking for one, but everybody, like we say, everybody's different, and one set of advice does not sort of follow suit for everybody. So it's just best advice would be is if you feel you need to go to A&E, then the best advice would be to go to A&E. I think with more than anything else.
Or a walking centre first. Depends on how serious. You kind of know your body, don't you? I mean, nobody likes to wait around in any sort of hospital waiting room or a walking centre. I think you can come out of there with more bleeding illnesses than you went in with.
I think it's also, I guess, the kind of, I forgot what I was going to say. Sorry. Sometimes I think I'm in like unicorn land. Woo! I want to ride a fluffy cloud unicorn.
Well, I think Christmas Day won't be too bad with my mum because my mum knows what I'm like with regards to eating everything else. So I will get a relatively small plate. I won't have to worry about eating any of the veg because I've got a pass for that this year. It's fantastic. I'm just lucky that but both sides of the family cater for my special needs. But does anyone eat piccalilli? I keep looking at the jars of piccalilli and I really want to eat it.
No. I had it today and it was fine. I had it in a Ploughman's while we were going, but I had it and it's fine. I love piccalilli. I had a little Scotch egg and pot pie and piccalilli on it, and I was okay. However, I do have to be careful with onions, but piccalilli I'm fine with.
Can't touch it. Can't touch it.
Love onions. Do you not like it?
Love onions, coleslaw, things like that, but piccalilli, oh no.
Well, no, you so well because you don't like it.
No, I just don't like it. It's horrible.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. Disgusting.
I've found that since my op, it doesn't really take that much food to fill my tummy anymore, which is good, you know. And once you start on a packet of midget gems or a packet of wine gums, then, you know, that's the danger. It's the start, because then the whole packet's got to be eaten. Like I went to the cinema last week with my middle lad, and we didn't buy this popcorn. We went to the pound shop beforehand. Obviously, there are other shops out there that are not called the pound shop that sell things for £1. But and we bought like their own popcorn and stuff, and I managed to devour 3 bags of that. But I think it's just I don't
understand you lot with the popcorn. That's
I can't eat it. I don't eat it because
dangerous, man.
This is not the fluffy stuff. It's the stuff that's covered in, like, you know, it's kind of sticky like toffee and that. But
yeah, but that stuff's harder to chew.
No, it's not.
It is.
Yes, it is.
It's in Steve, I can't touch the popcorn because I worry, and then I don't like the corn bit at the end. And I'm going.
If you get a little bit of the shell that gets in your throat.
No, but I love. If anybody wants to get me a present, I love penny sweets.
Love what?
Penny sweets. So they calls me Brockers because I had a block of purple wains with Haribo, but I do like penny sweets.
But if anyone wants to get me a present, I love diamond rings. Love them.
Good tip over the festive period to slow your output down. Big bag of jelly beans.
Or jelly babies, or
jelly babies.
Marshmallows do the same as well.
American hard gums with me. That's my kryptonite.
I don't know how they work though, because they're not really made out of starch or anything. That's why the jelly beans and the jelly babies work so well, because they are just literally pure corn flour that have been sweetened.
Oh no, I don't look at the ingredients or anything like that. No. It's just nom 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 nom. They're gone.
I've got something really important to say. I've actually been prescribed marshmallows on a prescription form.
No way.
When I was in hospital and I went, can I frame it? Because I was like, oh, this is so cool. He came round because it was when I was in for the 3 months and I was the litres and litres. I was on TPN and I had one fluid, PICC line, 1 TPN. And he actually prescribed, when I was allowed to eat, like eventually, he prescribed me marshmallows. And then he went to the pharmacy. The pharmacy were like, you can't prescribe marshmallows on a prescription form. It was like, we can't do it to you. And he went down to the shop, bought it for me, bought it back up. He went, there you go. And
medical.
Like, oh,
are they medical marshmallows?
Oh, but he was so cool. And he went, and then I came up and I had jelly babies. And I thought, wow, I never knew. I knew that they thickened output, but I'd never been actually physically prescribed them to try and help. They wanted me out of the hospital. I think I was doing everybody's head in. Stuck in that room going.
My GP refused to give me Diarrhelite on prescription. I've been told that I've got to have 8 sachets a day mixed into 750 mils of water, and I have to drink that every day to replace everything because there's
8
issues.
sachets is a lot, though. I would not need that much. That's a lot. Are you sure
know. Well,
8?
No, it's definitely 8. It is what is on my prescription. It is what is on the letter. With because of obviously whatever my bloods and my tests and that have brought back. So
what's your sugar levels? Because that's really high. Because that got queried when I was in hospital last. Because they said that's a lot. Just what's your sugar? Because that's
my sugar's all over the place. My sugar keeps going really low. My potassium's low. My magnesium's low. Everything's low. So 8 sachets a day mixed into 750 mils of water.
But they have a lot of sugar in though. I would just watch it. Like that's a lot. 8's a lot.
Well, I keep getting the shakes.
I got it prescribed, and the dietitian went mental. Like
it was the dietitian that's prescribed it.
I would just check with the consultant. That's very high. I think 8's very high. Just check.
I would love to check with my surgeon, but I can't get an appointment with him until April.
This is the thing, isn't it? Hard to get, hard to reach, a lot of them.
Well, I think what I might do, I'll do the first week because I can test my blood sugar levels anyway. I can go up to my dad's and test it on his diabetic blood tester. But no, my levels have been really, really low. My levels are around about a 2 for blood test, 2 or a 3. I keep getting the shakes.
Was that when you were eating the 8 though? Was that when you were having the sachets? 8 sachets?
No, that's without the sachets.
I was trying to mention it to somebody.
What's an average on blood sugars? What's the figure that we should be looking at?
Is it 6 or 8?
No, the average for most adults is between 7 and 8.5.
Okay, I had no idea.
I'm usually low.
Yeah, but mine sit about 2 or a 3. Oh, Graham's just said average 4 to 7.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, mine keeps sitting at about 2 or 3. So hard to know. But the thing is I'm finding at the moment the one thing I am worried about with the sachets is that it's going to make my stomach flush more. More sugar I have, the more it flushes. But I keep getting the shakes.
Maybe just do like half of it and then see if like it's sometimes it's balancing. Sometimes we get prescribed these things and actually we need to take some autonomy and like, can I take that, do I need to maybe like, do I need to reduce it, do I need to maybe take a little less, or do I need to take a little more, or it's like also using our own like
they don't always know the ins and out of how our bodies react, do they?
I think especially when it comes to the stomach, because I get prescribed omeprazole, but I don't take it all the time. But now I've started it again because I'm getting problems here again and gastritis, these type symptoms. So I started taking it again. I think it's also using our own noggins and how we know our body in what's prescribed. It's like pain relief, isn't it? Do all of us take what's prescribed for pain relief, or do we take a little bit less and then take it when we need it? I think that's probably more. And it's just using that little bit of like savviness, isn't it? I think with our own bodies.
I think I'll give it a week. I'll see what it does to the output. I'll see whether or not it improves the output or decreases the output. And I
don't think it will have any input on the output, Louise. I think it would oh no, it may increase the output, but it won't decrease it. I think it would help with the salts, but I can't imagine it decreasing the output. I can imagine it making it worse.
Well, I'll see if it'll stop me dipping the teaspoon into the salt caddy and eating it off. I don't know. It's all madness. At the end of the day, I think I've come to terms with the fact that my output is always going to be watery, regardless of what I eat. But I don't quite fancy another stint of acute renal failure, so I'm going to do as I'm told.
But what sort of foods could you eat to increase the thickness?
Oh, see, the thing is I'm predominantly following low residue diets, so my output should be pretty thick, but it's just not working. I'm eating, I'm having a bag of hula hoops a day. I'm having breakfast, typically either like gluten-free porridge or I have a slice of toast. Lunch, I'm having soup and a slice of bread. And in the evenings, I'm eating green beans, carrots. I'm eating sweet potato and I'm eating quite a high amount of protein. So you'd think that would make my output quite thick, but it's just not.
You've just got one of those transits, haven't you?
Oh, the minute it goes in, what goes in must come out.
Mine's pretty good like that. Mine's kind of deals with everything that I put in there, really. It kind of, I don't know, I'm lucky in that respect. I kind of have watery output when I'm feeling a bit low. It's I don't know. I don't know what I was going to say. I've totally lost my train of thought.
Oh, that's all right. It just seems to be the fluids are just going straight through me if I'm drinking, and it's just coming straight back out.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Changing the subject. Graham, and not me, Graham has brought up on the chat Love Island reunion and missed it, and then talking about how I got Graham hooked and like Love Island's like the best program in the world. And I was really addicted to it. But anyway, yeah, I thought I'd just share what was being
Graham needs to hand his man card in at the door just before he gets his bra fitted.
Oh, Jennifer, Jennifer, I was obsessed with it as well. Like literally, the show would finish at 9 o'clock. I'd be like, right, I'm going, I'm off. And I'll be gone for like the whole, like, however, how was it, like 6 weeks or 8 weeks? I can't remember now, like a few months.
Too long, too many weeks.
Yeah, he's gone. No talk.
I actually left it on the once for 10 minutes and I realised that no.
I made you watch it.
It's never going to, no, it was on. I didn't watch it.
I don't get how you guys can watch Love Island, but there's me watching Nigella stuff a turkey last night.
Yeah, but that's pure entertainment, that is.
What, Nigella stuff in a turkey?
Oh dear.
I don't think there will ever be a chance of, like, I kept thinking, could there ever be like a man or a woman on there with a stoma? And I don't think there ever would be, because I think they are just too perfect. And technically I shouldn't be watching it. Like technically it goes against everything I talk about, but I can help myself watching it. And then I was thinking, don't nod your head. And I was thinking, would there ever be a chance, like, not for me obviously, but like anybody, whether one day they would make like a Love Island that, I don't know, it's not very, like, there aren't many old people, and yeah, but I love the drama. I love a bit of drama. Not with myself, but with people.
Hannah bought me a brew. I have a brew, and I do apologise.
Oh, my brew's gone.
I wish I was a unicorn so I can stab idiots with my head. I like this cup. It's got me through many a traumatic incident. He's standing at the door like this. Thank you. Okay, I really want to eat cabbage next week. I really, really want to eat it, but I can't be held accountable for what comes out of my bag when that happens.
Now, I remember an article about cabbage and about, I think it was people with IBD during the war. This is, and they used to boil it up. People who had problems with their digestive tract.
Yeah, cabbage juice.
And cabbage juice was apparently really good for Now, I tried this when my consultant, who was very sort of friends of the earth, as well as, you know, he would prescribe you drugs, but also tell you to cycle to the surgery. And I'd be in his office eating nuts that he'd soaked overnight and meditating through the windows. He was a Sikh gentleman, absolutely fantastic chap, and he was massively into juicing, and he put me onto a few programs about juicing, and one of them was Cabbage. The only thing is, it stunk the house out forever. You couldn't get rid of that smell for weeks and weeks. And,
is that what comes out of your bag as well?
This was before I had a bag. My colitis had got to the point where it was inevitable that I was going to have a bag. My ulcers had got that bad.
You see, when me and Ben first started dating, I like, you know, like the street markets, the street food markets that you get, like the big places down in Brighton, up in London, and then they've got like the Thai and the Korean and everything else.
Digbeth dining centre, that is.
This was before I had the ostomy, and I'm walking around Brighton, and there was this Thai place, and they was doing like these pancakes, and they were stuffed with like meat and veggies and everything else. So obviously, I said, like, don't put bean sprouts in it. And I forgot the after effects of cabbage has on your IBD gut. And well, Ben said that he had to play music when I went in the bathroom, and I also passed out drunk on his dining room floor after eating that. Once I finally got the wind to pass.
I was exactly the same, Louise, but obviously I didn't have a bag. But it used to be like, you know, I don't know, World War III in there. There'd be like explosive, and this is the you know, drinking liquid, try and get vegetables into my gut and to stay there for some amount of time. And obviously juicing, you know, your body hasn't got to break it down, has it?
No, breaking it down is painful.
But it was ridiculous. You know, I found myself more on the toilet than ever before. I think it had kind of gone past the point of no return for my bowel. You know, that had to come out soon.
Has anybody on chat want us to talk about anything to do with Christmas, or wants us to talk about anything at all? Since we've got like 15 minutes left.
I want to mention I was given by my stoma nurse, Nikki. She gave me a valley cushion, obviously for my
yeah.
Never used it, so I'm going to have to use it within the next couple of weeks. I want to. Thing is, I haven't felt the need to. My wound there's healed really well. What originally started off was like a crease with a seam, almost like sewing two bits of fabric together. That's smoothed down now. Obviously, posts to come. And but the actual valley cushion itself, really good, but I haven't felt the need for it. So I'm gonna have to test that within the next couple of weeks because I want to do a post on it.
Do you know what? I was quite shocked actually how well your bum wound did, because I hear, and especially when both Louise and Steve went in for the surgery, there was a lot of in the groups about wounds not healing and pain, and I was really concerned about like how you would cope with it. But you haven't even needed, like, you didn't I don't think you ever complained about the pain on your bottom. It was just your wound.
Oh, having the drain taken out of it. Whew, I'll have to admit that was a little bit testy.
The drains were horrible. They were such a weird sensation.
And I'll have to admit the fact that Panda may have had to clean it and dress it when I got home. That was a bit of a. He's seen way too much of me now. There's no going back. But other than that, it's healed great. I keep getting a couple of odd sensations of sometimes when I'm laying there over night time. I feel like I'm going to, I don't know, it just feels like something's bubbling up in there and it's going to come out or something. But other than that, no. Yeah, it's healed great. I don't know, it's like phantom farts.
Yeah, I was in 3 days before a nurse even looked at my bum, and I was kind of like, I'm definitely had it done, didn't I? You know, nobody's been to check. Would you want me to check? Yeah, I'll just in case, you know. and I thought, you know, have they forgot? that they've done that as well. Because my wound, you know, they wouldn't leave my wound alone. They was checking that constantly. But the other one,
yeah, but you were having problems with that though.
I had to put the camera on the floor and do the old sort of stand and squat and take a picture, smile, just so I could have a proper look. Like,
Steve, I've got a question. Well, Graham has said that he wants us three to sing. Now, Steve, how is my singing?
Dear me.
I love singing.
It's fantastic, absolutely amazing, especially solo. What does Graham want us to sing?
Hang on, I'm just about to get my own back on him. I'm just going to check what he's just messaged me. Hang on. If anybody ever wonders why I randomly laugh whilst we're doing the show, it's normally because my inbox gets bombarded with messages. Hang on. What's he just said? Oh, did you have like a skin graft over the bum? Gosh, I can't believe I asked that. No, I didn't have a skin graft. If I just explain just quickly. So I've had a lot of surgery. I've had sepsis that's affected my organs and everything else. So I have a humongous amount of scar tissue in my pelvis. So my pelvis is floor to ceiling matted scar tissue. And when we mean matted, they can't actually get through the scar tissue to differentiate between where the arteries are, where the veins are, and all that sort of thing. So when they opened me up, they actually took my large bowel out through my vagina, would be the correct coin of phrase that they use for me. So instead of going in me back end, because they couldn't see what they was doing, because of where the large bowel was attached to within my uterus, they went in via my uterus. So I've got a nice long scar going down the front of that, and they took mine out that way. And what they did was they actually closed me up from the inside out. So what they did was they pulled it in and closed me and glued me up that way, where sometimes I think I've seen a lot of references to Barbie butt surgery on the Facebook groups at the moment, where the surgeon is technically says to the patient, it's like coring a pineapple. The way that they are going in, because what they're doing is if they're going in laparoscopically, they're going laparoscopically, but they also go up through the rectum and they do it that way. It's the way that they close up your Barbie butt is just dependent on the person's case.
Yeah.
It's also dependent as to whether or not the Crohn's and the UC has impacted the rectum and it's managed to get down to the outsides of things like fissures, fistulas. It is really dependent on the person's case at the time. There's no same way for how they do your bottom up. It's just dependent on the surgeon and the patient.
Mine was closed from the obviously open wound, not laparoscopically. Mine was closed from the inside and the outside, because I was expecting to see no join from the outside, just almost like that. But they've done it that. And that, so it's kind of like there must be a seam on both sides, and I was kind of disappointed. I thought, hang on, they've left the seam on the outside here. Luckily, that's all smoothed out now, so it should be good. I hope you're laughing at the messages on.
I still haven't looked at mine. I can't do it.
Have you not? Oh, you've got to.
I can't do it.
Tonight, yeah. Get a mirror.
No, I think that's going to be a job down in Bath when I've consumed one too many vodkas, I think, more than anything else.
In fact, yeah, I'm gonna have another look.
Steve got me to have a look, and I was a bit shocked because I didn't realise the skin would be on the outside, and he got upset because my face wasn't good, because it was like, because I didn't expect the skin to be like that. Like, and I was like, oh, and then my face was like, oh, and then Steve got offended because my face wasn't good. And bear in mind, yeah,
I'm surprised.
I was in hospital when it first happened.
Oh dear, I was disappointed.
I am surprised though that we were both glued up. I think that's more surprise than anything else, is the fact that we had glue, because the amount of people that have spoken to me prior have had stitches.
Steve got stitched, so I think.
Yeah, I don't think I had glue, because you were saying about residue, and I had nothing like that.
Yeah, it was like that. I'm sure it was stitched, because it was stitched, because it was, and it's all that's fallen off now, but it was actually stitched.
It was almost like how can I explain it?
Cornish pasty.
Yeah, like a Cornish pasty, and that being the crust, and I thought that's not right. Like the edge of a cushion.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
But that's all smoothed out now, and it's fantastic. I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to post it on all the forums tonight.
What have you been doing? Using a nail file to get rid of the edges?
Oh dear me! You know what? It's I'm glad it's been done. That's put it that way. And we have, you know, the amount of my friends that take the piss, and of course I've got an answer for everything when it comes to the Barbie. But you know what I mean? I'm quite happy with what's been done.
Okay, just a quick one because I know Rachel doesn't drink. Elaine's just asked, while you're on the vodka topic, Louise, how are people with alcohol? I've not drunk since diagnosis. I've tried wine. It hurt for 3 days, so it wasn't worth it. Surgeon said to try spirits. Okay, I will admit, Elaine, with your type of Crohn's disease, don't drink wine. Wine is a diuretic when it goes through your system. So things like fissures and other bits and pieces open up and can actually cause the large bowel to bleed. So I don't know if you've ever noticed when you have drunk the wine that you have bleeding after that. I had the same issue even after I had my ileostomy. I can't drink wine. It doesn't agree with me. The hangover is just not worth it. And the blood that comes out of places isn't worth it either. Every person's different. Some people with Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, can drink alcohol until the cows come home. My best advice would be is to keep it simple, stick to one kind of drink, and make sure that you stay hydrated and drink soft drinks between the alcoholic drinks. I think it's better to get merry. I think anything worse than merry, so i.e. completely and utterly, you know, off your rocker with alcohol, it's just not worth the hangover because your insides just don't like it. And being ill, you just take longer to recover. So I think the best advice would be safe and steady.
My advice would be...
Oh, here we go.
No, to be honest, I can drink what I like. Obviously, if I drink lager and fizzy drinks, then I gas out. It always alcohol always loosens my stomach, makes everything, you know, more liquid. But fizzy out, you know, beers and lagers, that they puff out the bag without a shadow of a doubt. But I don't think you should. I think you should. You know, if you like drink, if drink suits you and you like getting drunk.
Elaine hasn't got a stoma. Elaine has had Crohn's disease, but it makes her poorly because she hasn't got a stoma. It's almost like, you know, and I think that's how the wine affects her. I would try, Elaine. I would try the spirit and see if that makes it. Or make a decision that actually, you know, maybe you don't need to drink. It's up to you. I know for me, I don't drink, but I don't drink because I like it too much. That's why I don't drink. I don't drink because it affects my body. It affects everything. So like, I don't drink, but when I did used to drink, it did affect me and it did affect my body. And I found that actually now 8 years I've not drunk, and it's not, for me, it's not worth it because it affected my body. And but if some people like a drink, like Steve likes to drink, and you know, and I think lots of people, Louise likes to drink.
It's trial and error, isn't it?
I do on occasion.
It's making you poorly, then you know, you've got to listen to your body when it boils down to it. But you know, people who don't have issues with IBD, with bowel issues, people who don't have, you know, are going to get affected by alcohol exactly the same. You know, and they're going to get hammered and they're going to feel rough the next day and dehydrated. So I think it's just sort of listening to yourself and your body. And if it makes you worse, then either try something different or knock it on the head. You know, like what
drink plenty of water, whether you have a stoma or you don't. But if you have a stoma, drink water. But if you don't, just drink in between. Like
I find that mixing the rehydration sachets. I take a couple out in my bag and I just get a bottle of fizzy water. I drink that halfway down, just add a sachet and just drink that in between. I found that sort of helps because I think what's worse as well, I think with IBD as a whole, and especially more so with the stoma, the fact that everything goes through you so quickly, it's so much easier to become dehydrated. So I found that it is easier to like replace what your body is flushing whilst you're out. I mean, and to be perfectly honest with you, apart from, oh, good God, when we went to the PW ball, I think that was the last time that I actually consumed that kind of amount of alcohol. I've just been giving it a swerve, to be perfectly honest. But it's everybody, each to their own, I think, more than anything else. You know what you can and can't tolerate, and it's just about taking it easy more than anything else, I think.
Yeah, that's it.
In other words, don't be standing up the bar thinking it's a good idea to do tequila shots at 3 in the morning.
Oh.
Is there anything else? Oh, hang on, I think Elaine's just put. Oh, she's hoping to get to the Purple Wings ball next year.
Oh, Elaine.
I think Jenny had a hangover as well. She thought she was all right about a family party 2 weeks ago, and she's only just recovered. Oh,
Elaine, I think it'd be really good for you to come, because I think you'll get to meet us in real life, like not just on a screen, but also I think it's good because if stoma is part of your journey, who knows in the future if it is part of you, it's good to kind of know, like, just to see, actually it doesn't, when you see people you can't tell, like people are, when I do my talks and present and that, and I stand up and I go, yeah, this is me, and they're like, what, you got 2 stomas, like they can't even tell. And I think that I've realized that I'm like that now. I like that people can't tell. I like that I get the choice to choose people if I want to or don't want to. And I like that. Because before, I think there's an assumption, especially if you have 2, that you will know. And I think that actually, and the doctors make assumptions that they're older people, that they're people that are bigger. So when they kind of see me talk, they're like, oh, yeah, I have 2. Really? Yeah, really, I really do. And I think I like going to these events when there's people meet like-minded people, because you get that really like power, like feeling of like, yeah, do you know what? It's all right. There's a community of us, and I think it's important. Anybody should go to any
of all ages as well.
Yeah, and any face-to-face events, because I think online support's brilliant and love it, and it's really helped me. However, you can't beat that face-to-face to go, do you know what? Yeah, I get you, and I understand. And like actually having that, like you had that with Kelly, didn't you, Steve? Well, Kelly has it with you. And then also the online, I think it's having a mixture of both. It's
right, absolutely right. And like you said, it's like-minded people, isn't it?
Lynn's just said, what is a Purple Wings ball? So Purple Wings charity is a charity that gives grants to different all stoma types for when you first have a stoma, to like regain confidence. And they have a ball like every year, and it's kind of like a day event, then an evening ball, and it's a really good event. What we'll do is when it's due to, I think the tickets are out now, but maybe we could share it on the IBD page.
It's kind of, I think it's kind of like 80% people there have stomas, don't they?
Yeah, it's where I didn't leave Bournemouth, and 2 years ago last year I went to the ball, and because of that everything happened for me. I started traveling, going to Birmingham to see Steve a lot more. Then I went abroad, and for me Purple Wings was like a little bit of a catalyst of getting confidence to travel outside of my area, because I was in hospital a lot, having sepsis and everything else, and all the prolapse surgeries, that I didn't have the confidence, and then it made me have the confidence, and then it's gone boom, 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 boom since then. So
that's exactly the same for me. That was.
Yeah, and I think it's just really important for it, and it was like, oh my god, it was a real like that moment, like, oh my god, like I'm not alone, and we can have fun and have a good laugh, and I recommend anybody to try once. Go once.
Yeah, I've still got my grant sitting in front of me. I've got to do that soon.
And me.
I think I'm going to try and book it for February. I'm just gutted I can't get in to see my surgeon to get the all clear, so I'm worried about swimming in a hot tub at the moment, but I don't know whether or not just to risk it.
Louise, I think you'll be fine because your wound's closed. Both wounds are closed. I can't see. I think that is fine. It's when if your wound's open, you have to be a bit careful with swimming.
I can't wait to go to swimming, but obviously my wound is open. I've got 2 little holes that are open, and it's kind of like I really need to do it right now. Swimming's fantastic. It's all over exercise, isn't it?
No, it is.
You always come out of swimming and you're starving. Every time you come out of swimming, you're always really hungry, aren't you?
I come home from the gym and can bleed and eat the fridge out at the moment. It's what I do.
We are after 9 o'clock.
We are after 9 o'clock.
I'm getting phone calls that keep interrupting my live. So
right, okay.
It's nothing to do with Love Island.
You're a wanted man.
So everybody,
on many levels.
Next week we're not doing a show next week. It's just directly after Christmas. Rachel has family function. Steve has. We don't know what Steve does, but he's always into something and up to something.
That sounds terrible.
I am away in Bath for a couple of days, so our inbox is always open. So if you ever need to chat or you just want a bit of advice, our messenger is always open. So you can email or message us.
My inbox is just slightly open.
And I've got one little message for Graham. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a really
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yes, please.
There you go.
Merry old high. Oh God. So yeah, we won't be on next week, but we will be back just after the New Year, which I think is the 3rd of January, I believe.
So everyone have an amazing Christmas.
Yeah. So have a great Christmas. Have a fantastic New Year.
Good luck for 2019, everyone.
Remember, it's not New Year, new me. It's.
Oh, can I just quickly say something? Does anybody remember I talked about my remembulations jar last year? Well, I'm opening it because I don't believe in New Year resolution because they don't work for me. So I decided to put all the good things that happened in in the year in a jar, and then I open up, go, oh, I did this, did that, did that, that. Actually, I think it would be quite good. So yeah, next time I'll share my remembulations jar.
It's a good one. That is, I like that.
Yeah, I got that from Pinterest. Bye.
Pinterest, you mean? Pinterest, you mean?
Pinterest is much better.
See, this is Rachel. She has words that she makes. She finds out a word and then she adds a bit onto it, like Pinterest, like chicken bahuna. There's loads of different words that Rachel.
Yeah, but bahuna is better than boona.
But then she's trying to convince you that she's right, which is this is wrong. I have to correct her many times, don't I?
Oh.
But it's quite quirky. Right.
We're going to say tonight. I'm going to end live. I'm just typing up a message. Sorry.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the new year. This time
Happy
next
New Year.
Millionaires. Bye.
Bye.